Hello heretics, this is a video that is well overdue in time. We will go through the Trench Pilgrim rules today, and I just kept it off for a while because it's the warband that I played and faced the least, but it's always the one that drew me into the game and I want to do most justice. But I have played quite a few games now in different campaigns and such, so I feel like I can do it justice. Yeah, you'll be the judge, I guess. Let's see. Trench Pilgrims, they have the coolest icon to begin with. And what's in the Trench Pilgrim armory? We can begin with their ranged weapons. They have these available. Bolt action rifle with a bayonet lug for 10 ducats. Semi-automatic rifle also for 15 ducats with a bayonet lug. Pistol, automatic pistol. Molotov cocktail, which feel unique. Incendiary grenades. Submachine gun. These cost glory points, however, for the Trench Crusade. For the Trench Pilgrims, which they do not with the Heretics and New Antioch. They have a musket, they have a shotgun, and they have a flamethrower for 30 ducats, a machine gun, also for glory, and a sniper rifle, also for glory. So the Warcross and the punt gun is also available, but the punt gun is limited to 2, and it's a challenge to model for sure on these poor believers. For the melee weapons, we have a trench knife, a bayonet, a trench club, sword and axe, flail. Flail? I haven't read the flail rules. Pole arm, great hammer, great sword, and anti-tank hammer, which is limited to a free and elite only. They also have a misericordia, which is 15 ducats with a limit of 1. What is special? Which nobody else can take. We have the Iron Capirote, a conical helmet reminiscent of the headgear of the penitents, blessed by the church and often containing a fragment of a relic. Iron Capirotes shield their wearers from the psychological horror of war, enabling them to face the creatures from the pits of hell unflinchingly. That's a great helmet. What does it do? Negates the additional blood marker from weapons with keyword shrapnel. Makes the model immune to fear. Yeah, good. Molotov cocktail. Developed by the desperate finished battle frontier against the ice demons. This improvised weapon consists of a glass bottle containing a flammable substance such as gasoline, alcohol, or napalm-like mixture, plus a source of ignition. Well, this weapon is unique, and I like it because it's from my neighbors Finland, and probably will be more involved in the Kalmar Union subfaction when it comes to Thomas. And it's a type of grenade which is 6-inch range with a modifier of -1 in the dice roll, but fire keyword and assault. They ignore all penalties for terrain cover, as well as ignoring all armor on a critical attack roll. Yeah, grenades are sweet. Yeah, move on. Warcross. Warcross, also known as in the Holy Roman Empire, is a 4-pronged throwing weapon in the shape of a cross. It is engraved with prayers and psalms to guide it on an unerring path. It has a range of 8 inches, no long range penalties, yeah, I guess, which would have been 4 inches, and keyword assault. Does not count as one of the ranged weapons carried by the model, cannot be carried with grenades, ignores penalties for long range. A model with the weapon will not run out of them. Yep. The punt gun. A punt gun is an enormous shotgun loaded with 25 ounces of shot. It can be loaded with a risky amount of powder. Like, these guns are so goddamn long that they had to be they were used, as I understand it, on boats to hunt like geese and other birds. So they had it on the boat, rowed towards the birds and just fired, and the shotgun would just blast everybody down from the sky. Cheating, I call it. What are its rules? It's a two-handed 18 range with a +1 dice to hit and injure. It is heavy and shrapnel. Owing to its high accuracy and lethal shot, a punt gun adds +1 dice to all rolls to hit and injury. Before a model shoots with the punt gun, you can overcharge it with a shot, giving the blast-free radius. If you do this, the shooting action with the punt gun always ends the shooter activation and causes 1 blood marker on the shooter. A model cannot make a ranged attack with the punt gun unless it is either strong or another friendly model is in base contact with it. Well, so I said, if you didn't have it on a boat, you had to be like 2 people to be able to shoot it. And I'm guessing that the recoil is so bad that you really hurt yourself from it, even in real life. The anti-tank hammer, a polearm with a directional explosive mounted on its head. It is exceedingly good at taking out armored targets, but puts its user in grave danger. +1 dice to injury, risky and critical. Rules ignores armor modifier and rolls injuries with +1 dice. If it hits the enemy, the wielder suffers +1 blood marker as well. Like, ignoring armor modifier is extremely good in this game, especially in my town where everybody plays with at least 2 armor. And with also having +1 die is, if you saw my how to play video, very, very useful in the injury roll. This hammer is just, love it. Let's move on to the units, the elites of God's chosen. A warband must include a war prophet, which is this lady. It costs 80 ducats. 6-inch move infantry with +2 dice in both melee and ranged. No armor and a base of 32. That's a solid stat line, I feel like, to begin with. They have a ability called the Loudspeakers. The war prophet blares out a holy sermon and dire prophecies at 100 decibels. 100 decibels. The prophet can take a risk action with +2 dice once during each activation. If it is successful, all friendly models within 8 inches, including itself, they are not engaged in melee with, can immediately move up to 3 inches towards an enemy model. So it can works as a blood stoker from Age of Sigmar. You can stoke at them and they will move further towards enemies. Like 3 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but during a game it can be. Especially like you don't have to risk a dash and such things when you have that extra move. Have another ability called Memento Mori. The war prophet is touched by a higher power, and the real truth allows them to a degree of protection against premature death. Once per battle, when the war prophet is taken out of action, for any reason, ignore the result as if nothing had happened. Like, this is like tough, but better. Every time this happens to me, I'm like, what? What's this rule? It's very unique and very good. Laying on hands. With a successful action, you may remove D3 blood markers from any friendly model within 6 inches, including itself. Like, it's very good. It should be risky, maybe not. Yeah. It can be equipped with armor, weapons from the Trench Pilgrim list. If it, like during a campaign, gets heavy, it can have the punt gun by itself. If it has strong, I mean. That would be sweet. We also have the Castigator, cost 50 ducats. He has a stat line of +1 on each, can wield everything, and has an ability called Enforced Orthodoxy. At any point during its activation, a Castigator may take a risk action with +1 dice. If successful, all friendly models that are down and with 8 inches can immediately stand up, and at no penalty or cost. I am... Yeah, okay, this is very good to save your friends from being bloodbuffed. Like, you can move him, make him stand up, and when it's your opponent's turn, if they were thinking about bloodbuffing you with 3 blood markers, they no longer can, and it must use 6 as per standard when standing up. It also has a Whip of God. Unlike other models, a castigator is allowed to attack friendly models within 1 inch. They can do this without declaring a charge. Each time the castigator takes a friendly model out of action with a melee attack, set a die aside in a pool as the act of piety to inspire the troops. The next time your warband makes a morale... Oh, I'm sorry. Morale roll, add an amount of +1 dice to that roll equal to the amount of dice pool and empty it. And Cell of Strength. The caster may have the keyword strong at the cost of 5 ducats. I would easily pay that money to have a cool 2-handed weapon sword or something. But I'm not sure about this whip. Like, it can whip a friend. And if it's out of action, you get a dice, which can help with the morale roll, which you make when more than half of your warband has been downed or out of action. Like, you can prevent you from losing that way, that you're fleeing. But also by taking models out of action in this way, you're forcing the morale rolls to happen more quickly. So I don't get it. Sorry. Communicant, 100 ducats, has a -3 on ranged, do not shoot, with a +2 dice in melee. It's a 6-inch infantry with a 40mm base, however. They always carry a communicant cross, and it's nailed to the face. And it counts as a iron cap, he wrote, a combat helmet, and a gas mask. Sweet stuff. It has strong, it is tough, it has a miracle of regeneration. At the start of each of their activation, the communicant can remove 1 blood marker from themselves, if they have any. That's very good, very strong. And it has the bodyguard rule. If any model with the Pilgrim keyword within 1 inch of the communicant is hit, you can choose to redirect the hit against the communicant instead. Determine the injuries exactly as if the weapon just hit the communicant. Can you kit it out with armor? Yes, you can. What armor could we buy on this list? Sorry, I just need to remind myself a little bit. We can buy the standard armor and reinforced. So having a reinforced armor on this and like tanking with tough, that's very, very good, I must say. What did it cost though? He cost 100 ducats, so, but that's not expensive for tough. Like, tough is so good. So what normal troops do we have? We have this artwork is for me together with the artillery witch. Like, this is Trench Crusade to me. And they cost 30 ducats each, which is not a lot. And they have a 0/0 on ranged and melee. They can be equipped with any weapon. They have the ability Resurrection. When it dies for the first time in a campaign, you can buy them again because they are resurrected by the Metachrist or by a Metachrist for the cost of 45 ducats. And when hit, any attacks against a martyr add -1 when rolling on the injury. Their melee bonus is increased to +1, as you can see here in the melee stat chart. And they have a self-strength. One Trench Pilgrim have the keyword strong at the cost of 5 ducats. Yeah, I have one of these with a 2-handed sword, and it's cool. Cool as heck. We have the Ecclesiarchic prisoners. They cost 20 plus 35 for the martyrdom device. They move 6 inches, can't shoot, and have -1 in melee. They are equipped with the helmet, which cannot be removed, except by being broken on the wheel. Prisoners fight unarmed in melee, flailing feebly with their manacled arms. The penalty is included in the profile above. They cannot be equipped with anything. They may be equipped with martyrdom devices, which has a limit of 4 and are consumable. What are these devices? Like, I think it looks kind of like a bomb, wouldn't you say? Let's read its rules. A prisoner strapped with a martyrdom device can trigger it at any point. This does not require an action. When detonated, the explosion is treated as a 3-inch blast. Weapon targeting the prisoner model within 1 inch of the prisoner hit by the explosion roll their injuries with a +1 dice. The prisoner rolls 4d6 and adds them together to determine the result of their injury roll. If the explosive goes off and the prisoner somehow survives, you can buy a new explosive or simply fill them without one. Alright, let's read it again. When detonated, the explosion is treated as a 3-inch blast. Weapon targeting the prisoner. Okay, it targets himself. Models within 1 inch of the prisoner, like in melee combat, is hit with roll their injuries with a +1 dice. Okay, the prisoner rolls 4d6 and adds them. Okay, so it has 4d6 on himself and adds them together, which in all normal circumstances will be a lot, and it will likely kill himself. But when you roll for what other models take in damage, it's just with a normal +1 dice, and it doesn't say that you add them all together like the artillery witch's bomb does. It also has the ability evaded. If the ecclesiarchic prisoner is taken out of action by its martyrdom device, it does not count as being out of action for any rules related to morale. Cool! And it has a ability which +1 dice on the dash, which makes them more reliable to dash and therefore faster. The stigmatic nuns are 50 ducats and 18 fast girls with +1 dice in ranged and in melee. They can be equipped with any melee weapons, armor, and weapons. The only ranged weapons that nuns can be equipped with are pistol, automatic pistol, and warcross. Blessed Stigmata. At the start of each of their activations, a Stigmatic nun can remove 1 blood marker, but not an infection marker, from themselves and convert it into a blessing marker. That's very good. Agile. Stigmatic nuns may take any dash action or jump, climb, diving, charge action with +1 dice. Like, these are fast, especially if you have them together with the, what was he called? Agitator? Castigator. Like a castigator, making them move 3 inches, and then you dash 8 inches, and then you charge 8 plus d6. Like, that's crazy fast. How much did it cost? 50, yeah. And here we have the Dreadnought of the Trench Crusade. The big anchorite shrine. Cost 140 ducats, but that's well worth your money, in both in terms of combat prowess and coolness. It has a non-available ranged, but that's not true when we come to the sub-factions, where we have the shooty boys. And a +2 in melee and a -3 in armor. You cannot buy additional equipment, weapons or armor for the shrine. Each shrine is equipped with a special suit of armor, a combat helmet, a Catherine wheel, and a bonebreaker mace. These pieces of equipment are built into the construction and cannot be removed or lost in any way. They can make 1 attack action with each of these weapons in melee combat and may make no other attacks during the activation. So, 1 attack with a wheel, and the Acolyte treats the wheel as one-handed melee with the keyword risky and heavy that grants +1 dice bonus to hit for a total of 3 plus dice due to its melee characteristics, which, 2 plus 1 is 3, Because of the enormous weight and skill of the Anchorite Shrine in it inflicting maximum pain, the Catherine wheels on the injury chart with 3 d6 instead of 2 and add them all together. Much like the Artillery Witch, and that's very, very, very strong. But it is, however, risky. So you want to have a lot of dice when rolling for this, because if you fail, the activation is over. It also has the mace, and the mace is one-handed with the keyword risky as well. It has a +1 dice to injury roll. Because the mace is wielded alongside the wheel, it is treated as offhand and has the -1 penalty accordingly. It is also tough. It has fear, and it has a special ability called Broken on the Wheel of Fortune. Before the start of the battle, one trench pilgrim or ecclesiastic prisoner may voluntarily be broken on the wheel to show their piety and devotion. Permanently remove all weapons, armor, equipment from the victim. The anchorite will then shatter the bones of the volunteer and carry the broken victim to the battle on the wheel, as long as the volunteer is not taken out of action. Any attacks against the anchorite are directed to the volunteer. The volunteer cannot be independently targeted by any abilities or attacks, including blast. For all rules purposes and attack effects, such as force movement, the 2 models are treated as a single one, including sharing blood, infected, and blessing markers. Treat down results against the volunteer as a minor hit. The volunteer can take any actions, but be activated separately or move. They cannot take any actions, sorry. For obvious reasons, yeah. At the end of the battle, even if the volunteer may have survived, it dies. So, okay, so it works as much like the bodyguard rule for the communicant. Like it's used to take some of the hits. It will probably die quite fast with having no armor, but still. So as long as this guy is not out of action, it just counts as minor hits. And he will tank a lot for this tank. Let's move on to the warband variants, and here we have quite a few. In this version it's also included the Pilgrimage of Saint Methodius, which is like the new very, very elite subfaction. But let's begin with the Procession of Sacred Affliction. They have the special rules: face thy fears. No model in the Procession of the Sacred Affliction can wear iron capirotes. These troops with capirotes in their will not have them. So if you have a unit like the communicant, it won't be included, though their cost remains the same. Reliquary Armory. All models of this warband can buy Holy Icon shields for 20 ducats, not just elite models. In addition, warband models with the elite keyword may acquire Holy Icon armor, see below. Punishing millstones. All models in the Procession of the Sacred Affliction, except the prisoners who are not worthy, add extra +1 die to injury roll against models that are down. Melee focused. This warband may not have machine guns and only 1 punt gun. Zealot Strength. Up to 3 Trench Pilgrim may purchase Zealot Strength upgrade. That's nice. Hammer and Anvil. The anti-tank hammer of this warband are not limited to elite. So you can have so many running around with anti-tank hammers and just wreaking havoc. I love this so far. I'm gonna play this. Wrath of God. 1 Trench Pilgrim or Castigator in this warband can be gripped by the vengeful fury of the Lord. This model is immune to fear and disregards any blood markers from any source. What? This model is immune to fear and disregards any blood markers. Okay. This model may never wear armor, though they can carry a trench shield or holy icon. Add 15 ducats to the cost of this model. One train. Oh, that's so cool. What? Yeah, this is the special armor then. Holy Icon armor. This suit of armor is made of blessed icons and scripture written with the blood of saints. This armor confers a -1 modifier to injury rolls. Ooh, very good. This modifier applies even against attacks that ignore armor. Ooh, even better. Can be equipped with a shield including Holy Icon shield. Ooh la la. I love this warband. I need to make this warband. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Cavalcade of the Trench Plague. Firm believers, in the traditional reading of the holy text, they reject the new doctrines of the Metachrist by the Church. They steal communicants from other possessions and force them to fight in their penance for being born from sin. Oh. Special rules. Blood sacrifice. Any model in the warband can purchase a sacrificial lamb. See below. Okay, I will read that first. Sacrificial lamb. Before the battle, this lamb is sacrificed to God's glory, and the pilgrim that anoints themselves with its blood, averting the wrath of Yahweh while fighting for his cause. The model ignores the first blood marker or infection marker. Ignoring one blood marker for 5 ducats? No. Okay, let's move on. The cavalcade rejects the doctrine of the Metachrist. The dead pilgrims cannot be resurrected as martyr penitents. So you remove one of the cool, unique things with this team. The unclean. The cavalcade detests using the unclean prisoners and may only have 2 of them. Okay. Day of his wrath. The war prophet of this warband cannot use laying on hands, but can call upon the wrath of God instead. This is a risky action. If successful, roll an injury shot against one enemy model within 3 inches. Armor offers no protection against this attack. That's pretty cool. Like I like the magic aspect of this game. Mostly the courts have them, but this is the holy version then. Stolen communicants. Communicants cost 3 glory points instead of ducats for this warband, due to the difficulty of acquiring and indoctrinating them. Favor of the Lord. At the start of each turn, you can give any one model in the warband a blessing marker. Okay, I feel like this team is, if you feel that Trench Crusade is too easy and you auto win against everybody, you want a challenge. I feel like this is like not many buffs to the subfaction and only limitations. It's also consumable, this lamb, so you have to buy it again. Like, I'm not feeling it. But yeah, let's move on to the mega subfaction that might be too good. We will see. Anchorite Cloister. This warband may buy up to 2 Anchorite Shrines. And remember, that's the big boys. Anchorite Armory. This warband may alter the weaponry and equipment of their Anchorites as indicated below. Anchorite of St. Methodius have +0 dice to their ranged characteristics. Mortal Sin. No prisoner of the warband may be equipped with martyrdom device, and no member of the warband can be broken on the wheel. Alright, so you cannot have a tank for the tank. Communicant Heresy. The pilgrims oppose the creation of communicants and therefore cannot include them. Sure. That's fair. You probably can't afford to have them anyway. Treasure in Heaven. The trench pilgrims of this warband cannot be resurrected. Not this one either. Chaste Order. While they revere the holy stigmata of nuns, the fathers of the monasteries shun the ecstatic revelry of their many children and insist on modest dressing. All stigmatic nuns of the warband must wear armor. In addition, the warband may only have a maximum of 3 stigmatic nuns. So, no naked ladies and more armor. That's cool. Gunsmith Monks. Oh, that's a cool name. The warband can buy machine guns, limit of 2 at the cost of 50 ducats each. An automatic for 40 and a submachine gun for 30. That's very cool. The patron of the warband is always a learned Scythe. Right? So what kind of extra weapons can we buy for our Anchorite Shrines? We can buy a heavy flamethrower, an anti-material rifle for 2 glories, a punt gun for only 10 ducats on. Yeah, that's very good. And the trench mortar, which is 40 ducats, 48 range, ignore cover, +1 injury roll dice with keyword heavy, and blast free. And you specify a point on the battlefield within 36 inches, must be line of sight. Take a ranged attack action. If it fails, the bomb lands 1 inch away from its intended location, multiplied by the number represented of the degree of failure. This is exactly the same as the artillery witch. For example, if you rolled 5, the bombard shot lands 2 inches away as 7. 7 is what you need to roll to succeed. -5, which you rolled, is 2. The direction of this is decided by your opponent. All models within 3 inches of the landing spot are hit as the shell explodes. No roll to hit is needed. This weapon has a blast radius of 3, and all of them within 3 inches are hit. Add +1 dice to injury roll. That's a very, very, very good weapon. Yeah, I love it. It can also have an autocannon. Autocannons are fully automatic guns capable of firing large caliber 20mm shells. Two-handed 48 inches range. 3 attacks and +1 to injury. Oh la la! They can make 3 attack actions instead of 1. You can target separate models with each attack as long as the targets are within 6 inches of each other. After taking all 3 attacks, the activation of the model is over, regardless of any remaining activations the model might have. Add +1 dice to injury. They can shoot up to 5 times if they take all the attacks. It's risky. Well, I would not risk it because they have so few dice. If you can somehow give them blessing markers and have more dice, maybe, but I would like move and shoot my 3 times and be very happy because the +1 die to injury roll is like strong enough. Like that's plenty strong. And these are hard to kill. Like these are walking tanks in this game. 55 ducats for it. Yeah, it's expensive, but you get an elite, very cool, very good team with this. And this last one is my favorite. I have thought about making a model with like the Skaven sensors for making the gas sensors. This costs 50 ducats. It's a special range. Ignore armor. Gas blast 6 inches. You make a roll for all models within 6 inches, except itself. All models within range, friend or foe, are hit. No line of sight is needed. The attack has keyword gas and ignores armor. Like, ooh, this is so cool. Unless the model is in cover, in which case armor works as normal. The use of the gas sensor always ends the activation of this model. Yeah. Special equipment, as if we needed more. Gas filter, 5 ducats, which counts as a gas mask. Holy diesel engine for 10. The Anchorite can add +2 dice to a dash, but it not automatically gains blood marker if it succeeds. So if you want to use the gas sensors and be within, you might have to dash and you really want to succeed. This is a good choice. Sacred geometry for 10 ducats. +1 dice in ranged. Yeah, good with the autocannon. Then that's one way to buff your hits. Grand Anchorite, built to an extraordinary size. 15 ducats. It can move out of combat melee without enemies having the chance to hit it, like the Amalgamam in Black Grail. Additionally, it can move out of combat as a standard move, dash or charge. Piston legs. 10 ducats. Once during its activation, the Anchorite Shrine may make extra melee attack action against a down model, like the Amalgamam, if it has a 32mm or smaller base. It's like a trench club. Yeah. hallowed anchorite, it can be promoted to elite during the campaign, which is super fun to, like, it can level and get scars and all of that jazz. And Wrathful Cherub Face, 20 ducats. If the model fighting the shrine is in melee, is affected by keyword fear, one of the action it has to take is retreat. One of the action it must to take. Yeah, so it can hit you and then retreat. Because they are so afraid of the Cherub Face. And that's it for the Trench Pilgrims. Like, I must say that I like them more now after we went through them than I did before. And if I had to build one of these warbands, it would be either the sub-faction that makes them very melee focused with like many strong units with anti-tank hammers and great swords, because I love great swords. I feel like the keyword critical works well in many games in my favor, but you need to have models with high hit value. Like the War Prophet is a good choice with +2 to begin with, and having that Giga armor on it. Like a normal Pilgrim that can turn into a Mortar Penitent with +1 dice in melee. Like, I like it. But in all other games that I play, I always play very, very elite, and the anchorites, like with different loadouts, seem very fun. So yeah, that's it for the Trench Pilgrim. I only think that Court is left now. I've done all of the others so far. Yeah, please tell me what you want to play and what kind of rules you're missing if you want me to go through anything else. Yeah, comment, like, and subscribe. We're very close to the 1000 goal now, and that would make me very happy.